My name is Alexander K.K. Aban, and I'm the lawyer for Resurrection Power New Generation Church, headquartered at English Amanfro. I've been the lawyer for Reverend Dr. Anthony Kojo since 2013 until his demise in February 2023. We have invited you here to throw more light on recent events in the church. I believe some of you have heard about some demonstrations and some crisis demonstrations, picketing and all that in the precincts of the church. And this is fueled by the perception that the administration as currently constituted and the children of the late Reverend Anthony Kojo have mismanaged the affairs of the church. Having been the lawyer for the deceased pastor and for the church for the past many years, it comes to me as very sad spectacle that people would latch on such baseless perceptions to mount a coup d'etat, if I may put it that way, in the church for their own personal gains. I state this because I have the facts. These are not matters recounted to me by people. These are matters that I have experienced personally. And I think that it will be in the interest of justice and also for the public to make their own informed conclusions from the various things that are happening. Over the past few weeks, we have seen people picketing in the church to the point that the church services have been cancelled at least on 3 occasions. The police have completely turned a blind eye to what is happening. In fact, we know for a fact that Mr. Shadrach Ajetesowa, who they have penciled to become the chairman of the yet-to-be-formed board, their own fancied board, is a very close friend of the IGP. And so now, it is the police who are even giving them, if I may put it, protection to come and misbehave in the church. And that's why we are calling out the police. We think that they are not acting professionally. Because we have basis for what we are saying. The first they did was that they wrote a petition to the police. They first even staged a demonstration without complying with the Public Order Act. The police did nothing to them, even though we made a complaint. Secondly, they wrote to the police that they were going to stage a demonstration. And the basis of the demonstration is this same Kofi audio, which is before the court. I called the regional police commander, DCOP Twaruka Dute, who is my friend. What he told me was that they were going to exercise their constitutional right. I agreed with him that they were going to exercise their constitutional right, but that was not the place. If you had to go and demonstrate against the administration works during the weekdays. But you could not do so to go and disturb persons who just wanted to have their communion with God. He said they were going to define their route and give them the time and even the duration of the intended demonstration. They ended up entering the church and causing mayhem. Church activities had to be called off. The following week, they went to do the same. And when I spoke to Dude, he told me that it was order from the above, from the headquarters. We were compelled to file application for injunction, which was served on the police, which was served on the intended demonstrators. Yet the police gave them the protection to come into the church. In fact, Mr. Dude went to the extent of saying that, oh, but we could close down the church and use it as a playground. Yes, that's what he said. And I was seriously surprised that with all the tools in their hands, they would turn a blind eye to these things. Now, from there, what they have done is that even though we are in court to deal with issues of the board and directorship and all those kind of things, the seeming inaction of the police has emboldened these elders to now say that they have constituted themselves into a board. I'll give you their letters. And when the secretariat writes anything, they would also write to counter. And they have now written that they have dismissed or suspended Mr. John Kofi Boateng and now Dali from their offices and that of the children. Meanwhile, when you go to the Registrar General's place, the directors on record are the children. And so, by what authority, except for police complicity, are they doing this? And that's why we have called you. That as at now, it appears the church leadership, properly so called, and the directors, as composed of by the children of the founder, are now fighting a battle with the state. Because even last Sunday, some of these hoodlums were so emboldened that they went to break open the offices. The national security had to be called in. They effected arrest of these people. But they were flaunting and showing their disrespect. After all, the IGP and the police authority are behind them. When they were being taken to the police custody so that their statement would be taken and all that, Mr. Tuaruka Dute instructed that they should be released, and they have been released. In fact, there have been other cases that have emanated from this, where we have taken the complaint. The police would come and said, oh, we are going to look at it, and they would never come back. At least, let me even mention a few. There is a case at Amanfom District Court against Elder Yabwa and 5 others. The JUPO called for the file. Nothing more has been heard about it. Then there's another one, Republic versus Richard Safu-Mensah at Wager Court. The same thing happened. Nothing has been heard about it. Then the Republic versus John Mensah. This at English, Amman from District Court. That one too, nothing has been heard about it. So we do not know whether the police are now part of the people who are using illegitimate means to take over the church. We are not saying that no accountability should be done. No. But what we are saying is that all these issues are in court. But we want the police to act professionally. It is for this reason that we have called you. Mind you, the church runs a school fees free school fees, basic school. And so anybody whose child is there doesn't pay any school fees, because it is part of these offerings that are used in paying for the teachers, stationery, and all that. So indirectly, they are disturbing the future of their own children. But this is a coup d'etat being led by a motley of people, led by Elder Yeboah as the face, with Shadrach Ajetosowa as the senior puppeteer. I think they should stop this. It's embarrassing. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Okay, Council, once again, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Last 2 weeks, during the date of the annual harvest, we saw some church members who have besieged the auditorium to ruin the church services. Just last week, Sunday service, according to some members, they have passed a vote of no confidence. This follows that they have to move away or suspend some 4 officials. Do you agree with that?
Please, those who claim they have passed vote of no confidence are coming from a point of huge ignorance. Because if you have not voted for somebody to be made a director of a church or the part of the secretariat, on what basis do you say you have passed vote of no confidence? In any case, this is a church. And so if you feel strongly that the activities of the leadership of the church do not go or sit well with you, you can leave the church. But those who said that they have passed a vote of no confidence, the first question is, did they ever vote for those people to be leaders? This is not a society. This is not a club. Nobody was given admission or appointment letter to be a member of the church. Right? And so when you have come, your first business is you and your God. Because I'm sure it is the gospel or the preaching that first attracted them to the place. I don't think that by this I'm saying no form of accountability should take place. No, I'm not saying that. But the point is that you came, you found the leadership as had been created. Right? You are a member of the church. The question is, people who give offering, somebody may even give huge offering. He is doing that not because he wants to see what his money will be used for, but he is doing that probably because he has some kind of covenant with God, and he feels it is fitting to do, right? And so those who think that this is a business and that they must take over are people who are manipulating these people, who are also exposing their ignorance. How could you pass a vote of no confidence in a person that you did not vote for?
Council, last question. Officials who are spearheading the affairs of the church, are they ready to render account to the church members?
Let me first tell you that in the course of the church, when Papa was alive, it was just done occasionally. But of course, we have always said that he has his own kind of anointing. And so nobody ever had the slightest inkling that he would take anything that did not belong to him. That's why even though there were no structures, nobody questioned. Because if you ever went to him, and this is something I had witnessed myself, if you ever went to him, that, oh, Osofo, I came to give a donation of, let's say, 500 Ghana cedis. The narrative accompanying that gesture would indicate whose money it is. Somebody would come and say, oh, Osofo, I brought you this. And then he will ask you for confirmation. Is this something you are giving it to me, or you are giving it to the church? When the narrative clearly shows that it's for the church, he will put it in an envelope and write on it God's money. That's something I have witnessed myself. And if it is for him, usually he used reverence money. That's what happened. So nobody had any issue with that, even though we did not have frequent rendition of accounts. Now, on the 4th of August 2024, when I went to meet with the expanded leadership of the church, two things were what I said. First, they should put the accounts together to be rendered on the 11th of August 2024. And also to get the persons who were going to be members of the board. And so that day, they came prepared to render the account before even the inauguration of the board. So they are ready today, here, and now to render the accounts.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other question?
Council, with this internal ranking with regards to rendering accounts, don't you think it will juxtapose the cause of some cross-section of Ghanaians saying the church must be taxed?
This is a huge policy issue because I remember very well that in the past, I think this was during the PNDC era when they wanted to register churches and probably let them pay tax. It was fought seriously. I remember very well that people like Archbishop John Kojo fought these things. Most probably, if they had even understood it well, they would have regulated church activities, not necessarily taxing them. But for now, I don't think that this alone should be a reason why churches should be taxed. Because in the first place, what they are doing is for the spread of the gospel, and it is company registered by guarantee for the expansion of the gospel. So for now, I think that this alone should not be a reason why we should say that the churches must be taxed.
Okay, so the absence of any other person, we say thank you to Oya and BT Fairwell. Oya, thank you so much.
Thank you too. Anyone, if I bring say you're from Waha, Hinasam Tiaba, only they say, Marsha and say, in Sambia or Kodo or Resurrection Power New Generation Church. Sabi ne yin on your field or yanko. Na never by in there. And so many be Nancy Oya no waka to Pinton Quawo, a sorrow there will pay accountability. And as they can't, will pen quintabu nazi, or being cadet, ma will moon quinta. Nembum, when I some nefapi mine, Sabi, in Sambia. I been to be often coffee, Yako, or the tomb from him. Na horrible or soften number, no, ye been my worker on Obon, some bude, Wafa, Kuntuna Sibi Wafa, a son Nisika, Wahabra, Bibia them on you. No crying, Amy, what did the master of no bottom minimum? Mamma can ye there? Ye hear the Mukufin, or Sunday honor na or the Quadu or Zaba. Now, often Inginado, on Fambra, Nasu E. Anye the Yabua, and on ye Shadrach Ajetusua, I wonder. And one when I say me there, the man, no, a soften number, no, either the boat, nana, one far bank statement and bread, near Quishum, Nazi. Now, Ismaya, Usmohum. Or son, I can't baby there. So, one baby could be there, there, one put in Tasaka Kajima, one baby not know from 2 1, or Sunday, one washes one Edom Ato, the honor Shadrach Ajetusua, on by I saw need to train Nafi the Yabua, Nan Catafa, walking on once wanted a debut one for one. Na Sabi, Minjin didn't hear brother not it. Yanan Branny there, oh, Abu be quidin, oh no, there is Inginado, Ezaba. One thing Ginadibia, one family. Now so, Ibinum was it, them Kufina Semira, was Akatan court. Minimum 70 marking can be at home. And I feel, you walk out today, you good years, I summon. Wasn't this woman there? Oh, a soften number, na sisi a wonzi wo de we directors enti wakohwe nka atem wo register general no hunde ahyese pan na osofo opanyin biafo na ohene kwaku na elder yame na elder yame na won no wonzi no ho na deminti nkofu ya weje aso da wokwan waka fo won na won so wa ba court de won na we directors of the church no only inaze mojiji de yebedi wo court nti monkom bebre na mom de bia wo ba court da elders no won na wo ho yegudia se hwasam no ofi don yedi no sabezo na wo sha ase de wo tempintin kwa bo na nde wo ye mo demonstration na picketing na aze wo de say bi dum hono nyamesum na aze na yedi nya asem za kana na posifu sabio aposifu mo dika ka chem do won constitutional right na so ehwa enche public order act no kitin wonsem enti awode wo hu de sabia aza wo ye npo owo nyina do papa bi ina asam na so krampa wo kono wa kotwe mpintin kwan anaso wo kotwe wo da wo court no aso what owo court enti nche wo tu mo ka chen one day wonje ne mum ye ja asam ni bia na ye hu bi asam ni wada na so wonye ne do menye opinion dude our regional commander me leading command na so mo ka chen mi de ofi eso ho na ihe nso yenyim de IGP ne yanko papa enye Shadrack ajeto so wan na Shadrack ajeto so wan mo ya ndesi sela otumpo akwa na wakaka cha asofo ne de ima wonya me aso peyin na motor pickups na madama muina ina waka cha wan me yanso ya ate ayo owo nkofo so otu an kan kakaka nti wasa won ina na wabdan wo be dede wa soro ho sabi onam ma aposifo na yede wa yenhwa hanzi sisa wa ma inom wenya akukudu wozi sabi emensam wo asoro sisa wasa ho wa form ho de we board afi wa cho letters de won we wa twen dada boat eno ina no imo from wa twen asensan yehutuma wodi gina da wodi ka da min semi nyina eso apostle wa yenhwa han we do extent there sisiala and there was a either wodi twandazim was the hako officers no wa ko twitwa officers or aso won ndazim na wo gbe office no yet them complaining na is come apostle when do bi national security for ba che mo na obi dude on normal instructions there wonja ho na ya from amayetum na yede dama semi da to hwanyim there sabe suppose for you adwuma ye ya ncha asomdwe bo ho na ye nyina ya atwen de ye gbewie court 7 na sisa onam there suppose for what Shadrack na no dominate nti wama sabe ai da bia ye boropo na yenye asochin ye ni desi dam sasunti na ya from na ya ka kire IGP na ya ka kire owia dut na hondo ma wo hye ase de boyi beka won act professionally na mo ye no yanko onam ma wari enti sisi a yehu bebia ye bebi ogide ye zokoso enti ye nwe de hye wi ye botro ye petition so na mo we sini na ye no won ka atari na ye de dase ye za kama president ye za kama parliament na ye za kama minister for chieftaincy and religious affairs na onye interior na we hu as a apostle for as far as them resurrection power in semi oti sisi a dem ko fun abo hu ni tiri mopo de se current administration ya na wo kwan kotin da ono de biara oye asarda de oye weekday o de oye sunday o wo bana wabatito wo hu egu ho na wa manzama ya basabasa onkotuma aboa no nkofo mpo wa asomhone ame na minjinji de otweye oyonko no wonjai